Okay, so South Central Alaska, and today we're talking about these lovely little jewels hanging from this branch, watermelon berries. So earlier this year, on one of my other videos, we talked about this plant in another use, and that was what we call twisted stalk, and that is when we would actually eat this new fresh stalk as it came up out of the ground in the spring. It tastes like cucumber or celery a little bit. It's just a really tasty spring edible. But it is late summer, starting to get to be early fall, and now the jewels have emerged, and these are watermelon berries. Now, watermelon berries are such a common thing. I actually didn't even think to make a little video of them, but I've actually been seeing a lot of people asking questions about what are these things in my backyard on Facebook recently, so I thought I'd make a quick little video. You can identify them very easily. It's one of my first berries that I let my kids pick freely along the trail. It's a great trail nibble. You can see they're pretty thick here in the bushes. They're kind of everywhere on the outside of the trails, on the edges of the trails here in South Central Alaska this time of year. Now they're a very, very juicy berry. They're like, well, that's one of the reasons why they call them watermelon berries. It's just because they're just full of nice kind of slippery juice, little mucusy juice. They're very bland. I don't really just love to eat just plain watermelon berries, but let's say you're making some currant jelly and you're kind of low on the amount of currants to make a whole batch. You can pick a bunch of watermelon berries, and because they're so juicy, they really add a lot to the batch. Another thing that I have used these for is making watermelon berry wine, because they just have tons of sugary juice in there. And so they're just a really fun, easy to recognize. There's nothing that looks really like them in Alaska, so they're one of the first plants that little kids can pick and keeps them distracted on long walks in Alaska.